Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Tuesday, March 26th, FARGODOME Authority meeting. First order of business would be approve the agenda, which you have in front of you. There are no changes or additions. I'd accept a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Dave, second from Mike. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Agenda is approved. Next order would be approve the minutes from the February 26th FDA meeting, which start on page 1 of your packet.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Motion from Blake,
Second.
second from Dan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same
Aye.
sign. Welcome, Nancy.
Thanks. Sorry, I was just getting my computer on and in clothes that were not my swimming suit. Sorry, guys.
Perfect.
Hey, we used to have a member who, hung out on the patio with a drink in his swimming suit, so it was okay.
Okay.
All right, so the minutes from February 26th have been approved. On to old business. Is there old business? Hearing none. New business. We'll start with the general manager's report. Turn over to Rob Sobolik.
All right, we'll start on page 3 of the packet with the financials. As always, the month is on the left, year-to-date is on the right, so this will be through the month of February. We had 12 events, right? With an event attendance of 45,500, so about 3,400 below budget. Direct event income of just about 121,000, or about 8,500 above budget. Total event income of just over 345,700, or about 17,000 above budget. And we had expenses of about 344,000, or about 12,000 under budget. So for the month, we had a net surplus of $178,000 compared to a budget of $111,000, so about 66,700 above budget. So it was a good and very busy month. On the event side of things, we were about $1,100 above budget on the trade show side. The Home and Garden Show ran into a little bit of weather again, so that was, attendance was down some on that, which obviously reflects onto the ancillary revenue for that. But the overall event budget on that one line item was impacted positively by the Soybean Corn Expo. Was in the meeting rooms last year, grew into the arena this past year. So actually we were set up for wrestling on the north end with the seating in some of the area, and then did the Soybean Corn Expo the 2 days prior to wrestling behind the dam with the trade show and meal area back there, and then they got out and we started wrestling. So, worked out well. Amateur sports, speaking of wrestling, about 16,500 above budget. Good per caps, and they apparently came hungry. So they ate pretty good and had some great attendance as well. The convention miscellaneous, the Kiwanis Pancake Carnival, and the NDSU Spring Career Fair basically consistent with budget. Motorsports was consistent with budget. Lower expenses on the post-clean was offset by slightly lower rent. It's a percentage rent deal. And the ancillaries were a little bit above budget, so about 7,800 above budget there. And we didn't really have time for meeting room events, so we didn't have very many. And we were about 9,000 below budget on the meeting room side. But again, overall, about $17,000 above budget on that. The miscellaneous income is $21,000 above budget. That's the rebate from Excel from November of 17 to November of 2018, having to do something with the 2018 tax refund. We'd already closed the 2018 books. We'd closed the audit. Since we don't pay a percentage of net income to any management company anymore, just felt that it works best just putting it into miscellaneous income so we don't screw up our the very detailed utility spreadsheet that Susan has working on that from year to year. So have it on there. And then on the expense side, we were about $12,000 below budget. Questions on the month? Year to date then, 19 events, 54,500 people compared to a budget of 55,200. Total event income, about $21,000 above budget at 415 compared to 394,000. Expenses are running about $20,000 below budget at 644,000 compared to 664,000. So through the first 2 months, we have a net surplus of $83,000 compared to basically a break-even budget of 637 for the first 2 months. Not a lot on the event side. It's changed with it only be 2 months, so you can kind of see it broke out there. Any questions on the year-to-date financials?
Must be one heck of a administrative team over there, huh?
It's all Susan, trust me.
We believe you.
I'm just doing the Penguins of Madagascar and smiling and waving and not even smiling a lot.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the February month-to-date and year-to-date financials as presented.
Second. Thank you, Blake. Motion, Blake, second from Dave. Roll call.
Dan?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes,
Troy?
Yes.
Blake?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Thank you. On to past events.
All right, moving on to past events since our last meeting, which was January 29th, I believe. No, February 20.
March, February.
Yeah, that's how it goes this year, right?
February 26th.
26 February, sorry. As the Sportsman Show was moving in, we had the Sportsman Show in the building then, Thursday, February 28th, and March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. They got out of the building by about midnight, Sunday night, Monday morning. 8 a.m. Monday morning, March 4th, the ice plant for Disney on Ice loaded in and they started making ice. And the production load in through Wednesday, March 6th. We kicked off the performances of Disney on Ice. Thursday evening, March 7th. Had one performance Thursday, one performance Friday, 3 performances Saturday, and 1 performance Sunday. Finished that. The ice loaded out they got the ice loaded out by late Monday afternoon, the 11th. Converted the building over. Had Shinedown, Papa Roach, Asking Alexandria in the building on Tuesday the 12th. They got loaded out. We set up for Kinky Boots on the 13th. And then with the weather, that show ended up getting canceled. So they flipped it over to Bacon and Beer. So we moved in on the 15th. They had the event on the 16th, Saturday. Monday the 18th at 6 a.m. the Sugar Beet Show started moving in this past week. They moved in the Monday, Tuesday with their show on Wednesday and Thursday. Then we actually had a weekend off for the first time since mid-January, and now brings us up to today with the dirt starting to come in for the rodeo. So as you can see, an extremely busy month, and February was no different. So also with having weather issues at Disney on Ice, I think they logged somewhere around 1,200 telephone calls of people trying to change tickets, change shows, refund tickets. Feld was putting them to a Disney on Ice show in Minneapolis, or Monster Jam, Monster Truck show in Minneapolis, Disney on Ice in Sioux Falls. And that was all handled by our finance and marketing and ticket office staff, with help from everybody else, of course. Reception and Amanda and everybody, so they did a fabulous job with that. Right into trying to do it with Kinky Boots all over again, with the blizzard that came in there. So words don't express it, but I can tell you that we, and when I mean we, I mean myself and you as board members, are just completely blessed to have a great group of people that I get to work with that manage the day-to-day operations here, because there was some bickering, so don't let me make you think it was all unicorns and Skittles and rainbows, but just a fabulous job of managing this building, particularly over the last 3 months. We've slowed down a little bit now to only, 1 event a week for the most part, although April is very busy again. The first part of April, as we'll talk. So, but just kudos and a huge shout out to everybody I get to work with, full-time and part-time here. Any questions on past events?
The Bacon and Beer Festival, was that successful? Again, I remember last year it was something you pointed out that could be a new staple.
Yeah, the numbers aren't totally done. I think very similar to last year. Personally, I feel it was a little bit of a challenge with our schedule. The only time we were available was Saturday, March 16th, which was basically all of the St. Patrick's Day celebrations as well. So may have taken a little bit away from it, but I can't totally remember what it was last year, but it was real close. The setup was better. We were able to go full floor, had a lot of room, really wasn't much crowding. It just worked better from that standpoint, and so should this be and become more of an annual event, we'd look to do it on the full floor. It's definitely an interesting event. Saw people walk, they had shirts made up specifically for bacon and beer, and on the back had the different, they take off the different beer samples they had and the different bacon samples they had, and people apparently take bacon and beer events seriously in this part of the country. So.
Thank you.
Any other questions, past events, comments? Moving forward then, as I said, the rodeo started moving the dirt in today. The rodeo itself will show up tomorrow. Move in, the performances are Saturday and Sunday. They'll get clear Friday and Saturday. They'll get clear Saturday overnight into Sunday. We'll clean the building. A pre-rig for Sound of Music on Tuesday the 2nd with Sound of Music in the Gate City Bank Theater Wednesday the 3rd. They'll load out, we'll get out, and ops will convert that night into the Shrine Circus. We'll load partially in on Thursday the 4th, finish it on the 5th with one performance Friday night. The 5th, 3 performances on Saturday the 6th, 2 performances on Sunday the 7th. They'll load out, and then I don't have it highlighted, but you can see on there, Border States Electric is in here for one of their large leadership conferences. They'll be using the 200 level, the lobby, the 100 level, and a couple other spaces within the building for 3 days for that, as we convert the arena over to Casting Crowns show in the Gate City Theater on Thursday the 11th, and then the NDSU Football Coaches Clinic on the 12th and 13th of April. The week of the 14th, 15th of April, we'll have a bunch of NDSU football practices. Then Sanford Health will be in here the week of the 22nd, setting up, getting things ready for their foundation gala, I believe for the Roger Maris Cancer Center on the 25th. Quick change over there. They've committed to getting off the floor by noon on Friday. We'll put the floor out, or football turf out Friday afternoon, and have the NDSU spring game Friday evening, the 26th, leading up to our next meeting on April 30th, with Something Rotten on the 1st. So as of a note too, I'll expect presents. Text me later. I'll tell you what I want, since April 30th will be my birthday. I'll expect presents. We'll have to keep it under $25 for the ethical limits.
Okay.
Well, how about a ticket to Something Rotten?
I get to go to that one anyways, so. But thank you, I appreciate the
That
thought.
would keep it under 25.
Any questions, past, prior events, upcoming events?
Another busy month, that's for sure.
Then just one other note then, at last night's city commission meeting, the terms of 3 FARGODOME Authority members are coming to an end. There's always a debate if it actually ends at the March meeting or if it ends at the April meeting. But at the city commission meeting last night, the city commission reappointed Blake as the park district nominee. They reappointed Nancy as the school district nominee, and Darrell was finishing his 3rd term, and so his name did not come forward from the Cass County government or Cass County appointee, so they appointed Vern Bennett. So we will reach out to Vern over the coming weeks. His first meeting may be April, but as a FYI, I'm still inviting Darrell to the April meeting if he's available, so that can say thank you and our thanks to him for his 12 plus years of service.
Thanks, Rob. Any other questions for Rob? All right, we'll move on to committee reports. Building and Finance met on the 20th. Blake, mind handling that report?
Yeah, I think we were all in attendance, but I'll recap. We heard the financials, A there. B, the escrow balance performance reports were as of January 31st. The balance is about 43 million. The fiscal year-to-date return was negative 1%. Took a hit in December, 8% hit in December, rebounded in January. So year-to-date through January, now 1% there. C, project and capital budget updates. We saw some initial drawings for some hardscape, landscape ideas for the east side and south side. So we got kind of a first look at those. And Rob's gonna go back or we'll see some more drawings down the road here. Sounds like RLE is still updating drawings and costs for the big upgrade project. And then last, we approved some capital project items. We approved to close out all the 2018 projects that were completed. We closed out the balances on those, which netted plus 51,000, and reallocated those to two other projects. And we also took a 2016 project and reallocated that to a 2019 project. So, but that is it. With that, I make a motion to approve the Building and Finance Committee report.
Thank you, Blake.
Second?
Second from Dan, roll call.
Dan?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Troy?
Yes.
Blake?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
All right. Item C, nominating committee. Time to appoint officers for the upcoming year. Did talk to Dave and Mike prior to the meeting, and they've agreed to serve as long as this group is willing to accept them as the nominating committee. So that is
You
that
can
good enough for a
appoint,
motion, or do I need a-
you can appoint the committee, you don't need a motion for that. Right?
Okay,
I accept your appointment.
there we go.
As long as they accept
Thank you.
it, the president can appoint the committee.
Okay. So no
So then they
motion.
will give their report at the April meeting.
Okay, perfect. Do you want a motion, Amanda?
It was last year, but I think you're correct in that.
Okay.
Rather than appointed
Guys will make a motion,
Make a motion.
but one of those two has to make it, either Blake
I'd,
or Nancy.
I'd make a motion to approve your recommendation for these two
Perfect.
gentlemen in those
Thank you,
roles.
Dan.
Second.
Motion from Dan, second from Blake.
Dan?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Troy?
Yes.
Sorry.
Blake?
I'm not Nancy.
Yes.
Mike?
Wow.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Pavlov. All right, any additional items to come before the authority? All right, hearing none, we're adjourned.